Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Irina and today I'm going to try on some new Avon makeup. If you're after honest Avon reviews, especially when it comes to the makeup, you are in the right place. I also review other brands and I try on makeup from other brands. So if that's for you, I would love it if you would subscribe. Now let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start with a cream. I bought this one in March and this product was my top Avon product of 2024. This is the Radiance Maximizing Lightweight Cream with vitamin C and SPF 50, and I thought I would actually put it on video so you see why I like it. It's just been repackaged for this year, so that's the actual tube. That's not the full amount I'm going to put on. I'm going to put a little bit more after, just to get full SPF. It's quite a sunny day today, so this will come in handy. And I'm going to put it on my neck as well. So I'm going to add some more in a bit. You can see how quickly that sunk in. Oh, and it smells so nice and fruity from the vitamin C. Okay, while I'm letting that sink in, I'm going to do my eyes. I'm going to apply some eye primer, which is not Avon. Okay, and for the eyes, I have the Power Stay Gel Eyeliner in a new shade, and this is in shade Burgundy. And that's a swatch there. This is a shade that's like really nice for autumn, winter, I would say. But I'm gonna put it on just to see how it applies. I'm quite familiar with these, but I want to see how it actually looks on my skin or on the eyes. These eyeliners are so soft, but they do set down quite quickly, so I need to work a little bit fast. So I'm going to do one eye at a time. Then on my under eye, I'm just going to smudge it. And then I'm thinking of adding a shimmer on top, but I don't know which one. I have three options with me. I have two eyeshadow palettes from Avon that have been discontinued and one that's still available to my knowledge at the moment, which is the Earth eyeshadow palette, but I'm not quite sure. I would like to use this shade, but I'm not quite sure whether it works with the burgundy, so I'm just going to put it on my hand next to it. Oh, actually that works really nice. And you can see what I mean when I'm setting quite quickly. If I were to leave, well, I managed to take this off, but if I were to leave it for, let's say, half an hour, it wouldn't come off unless I use micellar water or something like that. This new shimmer formula that Avon have, it is quite impactful and quite nice, but it's also quite flaky. So I'm going to use the NYX glitter primer for it. And I found that if I use this straight on my finger, it works better than using it on my eye. It's just because, I don't know what it is, maybe because my eyelids are so oily that flaky shimmers flake even worse on me. But if I put it on my finger, then you get that sealing right on there before I put it on my eye, so it's kind of like holds better maybe. Okay, that's one eye completed. Okay, before I do the rest of my eyes and I'll show you the mascara, I'm probably gonna leave that one for last. I'm going to do the foundation. So they are coming out with a new foundation, which is part of the Makeup and Care range, the Serum foundation, but this one in a matte finish. I had a few of these samples and I've decanted them into this spot. And then the shade that I've used is 140p or ivory, light ivory. So you can see it all in there. I think I'm just gonna pick it up with my finger. Okay, we'll keep it there for now. I'll decide later if I need to add more. So I do have a sponge. There we are. I'm gonna use a sponge on the side of the face. that is so sheer. Right, let's use a brush on the other side. That's probably going to give a little bit more coverage. Yeah, that's more coverage with a brush. This one seems like it's easy enough to just do with your fingers as well. Or you get most coverage with your fingers, this looks like, at least with my fingers. Just move on to the brush. Just adding a little bit more. But this one is perfumed, it smells just like the glowy version. And you know what, for a matte version it's actually not a matte, but it could be because of the cream I have underneath. But it's definitely more matte than the glowy version. It's not as glowy as that one. I really like the glowy version, even though I have combination oily skin. So when I saw that they are coming out with this matte one, I thought, oh, that's definitely gonna be for me. And I actually do really like the finish. It could be a cream underneath, but that's probably something that I'm gonna wear anyway, because I'll put sun cream on anyway, or some sort of cream underneath. So yeah, I do like the combination and the finish so far. I'm going to zoom you in, we'll see what the skin actually looks like. Okay, so far so good. I've got plenty in here to use for maybe a week, maybe a little bit more, so I can make a good decision. And by the time this video will come out, I will tell you a little bit more about what I think about it and how it wears and all of that. I'm gonna move on to concealer, and then I'm gonna see if this sets down or needs powdered. The glowy version sets down, which is really nice. So for concealers, I actually have 3. I'm not gonna use all 3. I'm just trying to decide which one works best with this formula. I have the concealer stick, and I have this in 2 shades, 12N and 24N. And I have the Power Stay Concealer in shade 12N. Power Stay Concealer has a little bit more coverage. So seeing that this is a light to medium coverage, I think I'm going to go for the stick concealer. So let's use 12N. And I have to say, actually, on this base that I have, the stick concealer glides on so nicely, because I've used it in the past and it didn't feel as creamy as I remembered it. And it just gives such a natural finish, I think. Well, I'm gonna add a little bit more, just because I feel like today I need a little bit more coverage just right there in those areas. I am going to powder the under eye area because that's something that always needs powdered. So I'm just using the Avon powder, which is the Flawless Mattifying Pressed Powder in shade Neutral Fair. And then let me see. I think, should I powder I think I'll powder the rest of the face as well, just to be on the safe side. Okay, then we can move on to lips / blush, because as I usually do in these videos, I use the lipstick as a blush. So recently I got a full size of the cream lipstick in shade Iced Coffee. It was one of my favorite shades when I did my swatch video. So that's Iced Coffee over there. Obviously gonna use that as a blush, so I'm gonna start with that. And I'm going to take the same brush that I've used for my foundation, mostly for ease, but also because it might have remnants in the foundation, so it will blend it nicer. And then whatever's left I'll take on the high points of my forehead, well, top of my forehead even. And then, oh, and I completely forgot to use the darker shade of the concealer. I wanted to use that as kind of like a bronzer slash contour. I'm gonna try and put it on top of this. We'll see how it goes. So 24N, which is a little bit dark for me. Just give you a swatch so you can see why. Let's use it on there. Kind of like a contour. Yeah, it's alright, I suppose. Yeah, it's alright. I'm gonna leave it there and then move on to lips. I have a couple of lip liners. I have shown you a pink shade in this lip liner formula, which is the lip pencil, and I think they call it ultra color lip pencil. So I had like a light pink one, and I wasn't that sold on it because it didn't match me. So since then I got the Simply Spice, and then I got the Bear color as well, Bear shade. We got Simply Spice and Bear. I think for my lip shade today, Bear is actually going to work quite nicely. Or let's try Simply Spice just to spice things up, pun intended. This one needs sharpened, but I'm gonna work as it is. And then the lipstick in Iced Coffee. I quite like that combination. What do you think? I think that's cute. Okay, I said I'm going to leave the mascara for last, so I'm going to do my eyebrows with the Microfine brow pencil in shade Light Brown. Okay, and then for mascara I have the Fan-omenal Volume and Separation Mascara, and I got this one in Blackest Black. When I try a new mascara, I usually try it in the black just so I can see it properly, but if I like this, I'm probably gonna move on to black brown going forward. I just prefer that shade on a regular basis because it's just a softer black. Yeah, just gives a softer look, which I do enjoy for a day-to-day look. I've had this one open for maybe 3 weeks now, which is kind of like the ideal time for me to make a decision whether I like it or not. Here we have the brush. I don't know if you can see the brush as I twist it. It has a flat side and like a more raised side when it comes to the bristles. The flat side for me, it feels like it's gonna just make sure that it grabs every single lash, and then the more raised side is what's gonna give you the extension. Yeah, it doesn't promise length, just volume and separation. So let's start with this side. I'm gonna start with a flat side. Okay, move on to the bigger side. I could just leave this here because I think it gives a nice enough effect. And I think I will leave it here. I'll do one more coat. So normally when I go in for a second coat, I would just use the bigger side because it's just easier. And then could use the flat side for extra volume. Look at that. That definitely gave it more volume when I went in the second time with the flat side. When I first used this one fresh out of the tube, it felt a bit finicky and it did smudge on the upper lash line. It doesn't do this anymore. However, you can notice I've kind of got specks of mascara, so it does flake. It doesn't flake throughout the day in my experience so far, but while applying I do have flakes falling off. So I think this is a good mascara. It does give my lashes a nice effect. It does give them volume. It separates them as well. It definitely doesn't clump them. But I do think it's a little bit more finicky to use, especially when you're in a rush. And especially because I know I need to wait for these flakes to dry before I brush them off. So yeah, it's not the quickest, but it does give a nice effect. So just let me know what you think of these products, especially if you also have them. I would love to chat with you about them. I hope this video was useful or at least entertaining. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. If you want to see more from me, I would love it if you check out my other videos, see what else I do here on my channel, what other brands I review. And if that's for you, I would love it if you would subscribe. Thank you very much if you are subscribed. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!